time now for a look through today's papers, and I'm joined in the studio by Deeptika Laurent. Deepti, lots of focus today on that spectacular spat between Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's right, Alison. To be honest, it's all the papers are talking about today, and with a healthy dose of schadenfreude as well, I might add. Former BFFs turned enemies, Donald Trump and Elon Musk, started feuding earlier this week on Thursday, actually, over Elon Musk's criticism of Donald Trump's, quote, big, beautiful bill, domestic policy bills that will add trillions to public deficit. Now, this is in the New York Times on the front of their website today. Trump and Musk hurl insults as their alliance crumbles. And in its analysis today, the Times reports that their relationship melted down in spectacular fashion, vindictive, messy, petty, childish. These are just some of the adjectives used by the Times to describe this spectacular fallout. Now, in the Wall Street Journal today, you'll see they recall that the spat gradually escalated, starting with Musk criticizing Trump's bill, to which Trump had said Musk was aware of what had been coming, then calls by Musk to kill the bill, which Donald Trump responded by saying that Musk suffered from Trump derangement syndrome, and then the ultimate, Musk saying that Trump wouldn't have won without his support. Editors of the Wall Street Journal here likening this breakup to the War of the Roses, in which both will lose in this nasty divorce, it says. And then you have The Guardian here also looking at this, for its part, rather joyous in this. There's an opinion piece here in which The Guardian is rather joyous about this spat. The world's two worst people are finally having a big, beautiful breakup, Arwa Madawi writes. However, their spat may be short-lived because Politico, the U.S. version of Politico, reports that Trump and White House aides signaled a possible détente with Musk. Politico saying that Trump told them that all is okay between Musk and him, and privately, White House officials are also working to de-escalate the feud. Alison.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Both men are quite dramatic in both their breakups and they're getting back together. Moving on, Deepti, you've also found an interesting article in The Economist, which looks at how having girls has become somewhat desirable for potential parents.
Yeah, that's right. Or rather, as The Economist puts it, the stunning decline of the preference for having boys. In the 80s, of course, with the rise of ultrasound machines, we saw basically a lot of couples essentially aborting girl babies. Millions of girls were aborted. They were seen at the time as being undesirable for parents who were desperate for a boy, or in the case of parents who did not want, or in the case of China, could not have large families. It was more preferable to have boys. Now, today in some regions, preferences for girls are growing. For example, among Japanese couples who want just one child, while girl babies are seen as more desirable. In the US and Scandinavia, couples are more likely to have more children if their first one is a boy, the idea being that couples are willing to keep trying until they get a girl. In adoption, parents pay more for girl babies, and women opt for the XX chromosome when gender selection is a possibility in IVF. The reasons for this stunning decline of boys is a myriad, really, but also indicative of changing attitudes. Now, a lot of this is rather stereotypical, that is outlined in The Economist, but they do explain that many people see girls as being easier to raise, more academically astute, unlike boys who are more likely to get into trouble. The Economist pointing out that 93% of the world's inmates are men. Also, the perception that the surplus of men, as we saw with this gender selection process in the 1980s, led to a sexually frustrated generation of men, leading to a lot more violence. The idea also that a surplus of females, if it comes to that in the world, would not have the same effect. Rather, it would have a counter effect, more peace in the world. But all of this seems a little bit stereotypical.
It is interesting. I just had a boy, but I have
that's right.
hoping to raise
I have
him
a girl, so
to be a peaceful boy.
We're on both sides of the fence.
All right, Judy, we're going to turn our attention to the sports pages now. Jubilation, joy, and heartbreak after France's loss to Spain in the League of Nations.
Yeah, that's right. As Marca, the Spanish sports paper, puts it, the dance that almost ended with a scare for Spain. They were leading 4-0 and then 5-1 in the second half before Les Bleus scored 3 goals in the last 14 minutes of the match. It wasn't enough, though, to win, but Le Figaro here, the French paper, really alluding to what it calls a crazy game. Spain will now play Portugal in the final on Sunday, and France will play Germany in for the third place spot. L'Equipe, the French sports paper, also calling it a totally mad game of football on its front page, and also sharing the front page space there. You have Loïs Boisson, who the French tenniswoman who lost to Coco Gauff in the semi-final of the French Open yesterday, despite her magical, some might say, run at the tournament.
You know, it was incredible. I watched the game, but was rooting for both because Coco Gauff, an American, happy,
of course,
happy as well for her that she won, but sad for the French side. Meanwhile, Deepti, though, there is some good news for Jordan's football team.
Yeah, absolutely. The Jordan Times, this paper here, reporting that the Jordanian football team has qualified for its first ever World Cup. That's the 2026 World Cup. The side beat Oman 3-0 to book their spot in the World Cup next year. The Jordan Times describing it as a monumental moment for Jordanian football, a culmination of years of effort, heartbreak and relief. Let's end on some other good news in football, possibly good news at least. The Sun reports that David Beckham could be set to become Sir David Beckham in the King's knighthood honours next week for the occasion of the King's birthday. Now, it's been a years-long campaign for Beckham to become Sir David Beckham. He was first put forward for knighthood in 2011 after he helped secure the 2012 London Olympics, but he was blocked at the time after being embroiled in a tax avoidance scheme. The long wait may just be over now for the man known, I'm not sure if this is a good thing or not, but apparently he's known as Golden Balls, Alison.
Sir Golden Balls.
Sir Golden Balls.
Potentially, quite a
Sir
title.
and Lady Golden Balls.
Quite a title. All right, Deepti, thank you so much for that.